into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello everyone and welcome to our Sailor Moon Crystal After Show here at AFTERBUZZ TV. I'm losing my voice, but it's gotta come back. Alright guys, we are here talking about Act 9, Serenity, Icon Princess, and it was such a heartfelt episode. Really good.
This was so good, guys.
Yes.
Oh my god. This was the episode I've been waiting for.
I know.
I'm Markeia McCarty.
Yes,
Hi.
you are. The beautiful Markeia McCarty, and I am Takee.
Yeah, this was the episode that I've been waiting for, and I absolutely loved it. I loved everything about it. As there was one point in it where, like halfway through, I was like, "Is this really only half an hour?" It's like this feels movie length because there's so much emotion that was happening in every little bit.
And for the first time, I've always noticed how great the animation is, but something about having emotions mixed with the drawings and everything just worked so well together.
Yeah.
I was really impressed at just everything because they really did provide just an insight of how she felt just by the animation. And it was just amazing. And I watched it a couple times. This episode was so good. And it just sucks that it was only 22 minutes long.
I do agree with you with like the animation. I feel like the animation like jumped into the forefront for me with this,
right?
Because the subtleties that they did.
Yep.
Like just from we're just going to talk about the entire episode.
Yeah, we're
right?
just going to do this.
Okay, so just from when Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask has been, blasted with the negative energy, and he's in her lap, and then she's remembering, and she becomes Princess Serenity. I loved how with the animation, she was more mature. Her face was a bit more angular. I don't know if she got skinnier, but it looks like, other parts grew.
Yes.
But
yes.
she definitely looked more mature than her, 14, 15 years?
She's supposed to be like 14, 8th grade, but she looks,
Yeah, and there was like this
developed.
wisdom that was going on in the face and the lines. And I really enjoyed it. I was like, nicely done.
Right. And, going on to what you were saying about her maturity level, at the very beginning of Act 1, we met Usagi, and she was a little childish, always late for work, kind of bratty, and, like a crybaby. But from that point to this Act 9, she has grown exponentially into, her who she's meant to be, quote unquote, and it's like you said, it's just really they show that really well, especially ever since her and Mamoru have like developed this relationship and this rapport, and the more they build and engage in a relationship, the more mature she becomes.
Yeah, it's like for lack of a better terminology, it's like love is helping her grow.
Yeah,
kind of a thing. I completely agree with that. Also, like, and I know from the past episode, wasn't here for that particular one, obviously watched it. I love the theme that even well-meaning deception is bad.
Yeah.
Because if they hadn't done that whole ruse, where Sailor V is Princess Serenity, then of course Sailor Moon wouldn't have, well, actually, no, she would have. Sailor Moon would have still jumped in front of the negative energy.
Yeah.
That still would have happened.
But that was really smart, and it makes so much sense that Sailor V is actually the true leader of the Guardians.
Revealed.
Revealed.
Nice.
And, obviously, everyone knows that Usagi is going to be, Princess Serenity, essentially because of the buns and because of the way she looks. Her relationship, obviously, with Mamoru. And so,
Endymion.
and Endymion.
Endymion. Endymion.
I find that to be a very creative name, by the way.
I liked it.
I'm
a lot better than just Darien and Darien.
right.
You know?
Yeah. I like that name too. And just the way they capture their love and the way that this particular act took us back into, boom, her past. Now we know. Now we know that, they have a huge link together. Now we know that he was a man from Earth and she was a princess from the moon.
Yeah, which was like, it's turning out now is like maybe like the political capital of the solar system.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. You have like Washington, D.C. is absolutely tiny. But that could be a reason why the moon holds so much sway.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And loved, really cool reveal. That was Beryl, wasn't it? That was the one that killed Indy. I'm not going to say this right. Endymion. That killed Prince E, right?
Yeah.
But which means
she did mean to kill her. Beryl meant to kill Serenity,
and then he jumped in the way.
Jumped in the way, and that's why it was like a complete repeat of what happened in the past,
which triggered everything.
Right.
I thought she was just sort of swinging, But that totally makes sense.
I think Beryl has a thing for.
Yes, who doesn't?
Yeah, okay, I do. I mean,
honestly, but I do like the tie-in where it was like obviously, Beryl. Because the whole thing with how she is with the Lords of the Underground now is because she went to Antarctica or whatever and, was drawn there and unsealed the person. And I'm sorry, I forgot her name.
The
Metal Sama.
The crazy black shadowy thing.
Yes.
There you go.
I'm very excited right now, so names are going to fly
I know,
everywhere
me too. It's okay.
But in any case, it's like I love that repeat because obviously that she, in the previous, thing, that she also had to do something to attract that evil spirit. So what is going on with Queen Beryl? I want to know more about her now.
Yeah.
That's 2 times she's been taken over by that spirit. Like, she has also been reincarnated.
And she's also has her own, vendetta also, because in previous acts, she talks about how she's not sure if she wants to give the legendary silver crystal to the shadow once she finds it.
Of course. Maybe she's getting smarter in this reincarnation.
Yeah. I mean, so everyone, they're all suddenly getting their memories back, but the focus is really on Serenity and Endymion. And, seeing their backstory and how much they love each other and how she was kind of initially stalking him. Like, I came down from the moon to Earth to watch this prince from afar, and then we fell in love, and we couldn't fall in love because it was just against the gods, but we love each other.
Which is funny because remember when she was kind of stalking the Sailor Guardians?
Yeah, yeah.
She's like, oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, your lunch.
Yeah. I guess some things never change.
Yeah.
Some things never change.
Very fun.
So, she's crying because, obviously Endymion is just like a stone right there, laying out in the sky with his head on her lap. And there's a lot of screaming and crying, by the way. And I was looking at a lot of tweets, and some people were kind of annoyed with her.
Really?
I thought it fit perfectly.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, I enjoyed it because usually when there is a warrior figure and then something happens to their significant other and then they have to get them back or there has to be a vendetta, it seems to me that usually in movies and like in television shows, we actually do not explore the gamut of emotion. It's like there's this limited spectrum that warrior figure is allowed to have, whether they're male or female.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah. I mean, the closest I've seen, anything off the top of my head come to exploring more of that than just stoic vengeance is Jodie Foster in The Brave One, for instance. Like that's a bigger spectrum of emotion. So I enjoyed seeing this. I thought it fit with her character from where she was before. It's transitional. And yeah, of course she'd be devastated, but then also turn it around and use that devastation. I wouldn't want a Serena that didn't wig out like that. I
completely agree with you. She wigged out. She did. Because it was a cry and a scream that kind of like made me feel like, oh, gosh, she's really emotionally hurt, which is, obviously what they wanted us to feel. And she's crying incessantly, and she is the one that possesses the legendary silver crystal.
Yeah.
And a piece of it, a portion of it, falls into Darian and Yimyeon's soul.
Yeah. So it's like, I guess to protect him in a way. But with her screaming and crying, like the more she did, I was like, ooh. And I even said it out loud, which is what I do when I'm watching this. I was like, whoa, as soon as that stops, even all of that is going to be like a laser focus into getting him back. And I can't wait to see that. Yeah, but I'm really curious then. So is it what she has now? Is that just like the vessel of the legendary silver crystal?
From my understanding, it's that from my understanding, it's that she has a part of it, but it can't survive without he has a part of it too in his soul. And that's
makes
why
sense.
that's why
Makes a lot of sense.
Beryl wants to keep him alive because she wants to find a way to get that. But Beryl will also need Serenity or Princess's
the other
well.
part of the vessel, the other half.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're
okay, that makes sense.
It's kind of nice because
Don't give away too much though.
I'm not going to give away anything at all.
Okay, please don't. I'm not reading the manga. So
I'm not going to
just
give away
watching.
anything at all.
Okay.
But what I was going to say was, it's kind of cool that the legendary silver crystal is kind of split between these two, because it also provides another like snippet of how they were meant to be. I just love how much they love each other. I want a love like that. That's like unreal. It's kind of love
It's very cute.
girls
It's
dream
very
of.
yeah, it's fun with the supernatural aspect, and then there's the romance, and then and then that whole reincarnation thing. It's great, and then how she takes care of him and he takes care of her to the best of his ability, even though she like has all the power, and that makes me like him even more.
Yeah, he just loves her very much. And Queen Beryl comes out with Kunzite out there, and they're ready to destroy the couple. But the Guardians come out, nope, and they protect them, and all hell breaks loose. They take away.
Oh, they grab him.
And he's gone. Now he's in the dark area.
Yeah. Ooh, fun thing, like super fun thing for me was, with Sailor V and how she says that, she's the actual guardian, the leader of the Sailor Guardians, and she still has more, she still recollects more than everybody else. The way that she was talking to Kunzite, I'm thinking that the lords of the underworld are not all bads like they were previously. Don't you dare give anything.
I'm not saying anything, but
don't you dare. But this is a prediction for me.
I love your predictions.
Man, it's just the way that she was. I was like, oh, does she know him? Why doesn't he know her? Brainwashing. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Well, there was, back in the dark world, when Endimion was lying there, like pretty much dead, the four kings were hanging out, and he had that flashback when, Usagi says, Endimion, and he hears it, and he kind of feels like, do I know him? So that must have made you think twice about your possible prediction, no?
No, I think maybe the lords of the underworld, that they are maybe the other halves of the Sailor Guardians. I'm going to throw that prediction out there. That would be very cool if like Kunzite and Zoisite and everything had their respective planets, or they were from different parts of Earth and had their own little attachments to each one of the Guardians. I would love for that to happen, where it was like all these little sub-love stories, but they're still fighting and still trying to remember at the same time. I don't know if that's true, but I think that I would love that if that happened.
I think you would love that. If that were to happen, you would love it.
I said love a lot.
Yes. Well, this was a very lovely episode, so I understand. So now that Queen Beryl has the prince, we've got Serenity. Or I keep calling her Serenity, Serena or Usagi.
She was Serenity this episode, so
she's bawling, and she is just, they can't they can't control her anymore. She's no longer happy. The smile that everyone was used to, it's all gone.
Yeah.
And, you know, they go from telling her, like, dude, you got to get a grip, to leaving her alone at her house. And in the meantime, Luna feels kind of bad, you know?
Yeah.
Luna feels bad
'cause
for doubting her.
She didn't trust her. She didn't trust in her ability. You know, she saw her as a little girl. And, you know, let's be completely honest. Serena isn't the most mature. I'm sorry, Serena.
I know, I'm doing it too.
Usagi isn't the most mature person ever. So, and then plus, Sailor V was already running around out there and Luna was in contact with her. So she's going to unfairly compare Sailor Moon to Sailor V.
Yeah.
You know, very real possibility where it's like, oh, she's still crying and look at what Sailor V's doing.
Yeah.
Giving me these reports.
Yeah.
So I could see, and then she would feel ashamed. Well, as ashamed as a cat can feel.
Yes.
You know?
Am I the only one that's always wanted Luna and Artemis to hook up? Is that the weirdest thing?
No, it
like
makes
cats.
sense. It makes sense for this whole thing. Where and wasn't no, that was a thing. No, they had a little kitten that came from the future along with Chibi in the old series.
Oh man,
I think so.
I think you're right. Yeah. But anyway, we have a little backstory of Luna and Artemis, how they ended up in pods and they were resting, and we get their backstory. And in the meantime, we have Usagi, who's just in her place, having a bad dream, aka the dream of Endymion back over there with the four kings.
Yeah, nightmare.
Bad nightmare. And then the four girls in the meantime are talking to the two cats and think, look, we can't do this any longer. We miss her smile. We miss having her around. We need to go see her.
Yeah.
So they go to her place, and she's got crazy, not just long, but glowing hair.
Yeah.
So she's like really coming into her own, because ever since she's regained her memories.
It's a transformational change that has also happened to her. Which is scary.
Yeah.
A bit, you know, and she even kind of remarks on that where she's like, you know, am I losing my identity? And that's terrifying, that just because of a person that she was in a past life, that will start taking over how she is now.
Yeah, and I think that's something that she was really afraid of happening, because...
Rightly so.
Yeah, she was saying, look, I am an 8th grader. I'm 14 years old. I can't be this princess. I'm not a princess. And Sailor Mars tells her, look, no, you're not. You're not going to make the same mistakes, because we're here to help you. And you can see the camaraderie in these 5 girls and 2 kitties. I think like this episode was it had a lot more of a serious tone. And it also just really reinforced the relationships between, for example, the couple and the Guardians. And I love that. I love that the Guardians love her so much.
Yeah, and that along with a little teaser of possibility of past relationships with the Lords of the Underworld.
Yes, perhaps.
Possibly. I'm looking forward. Looking forward to the next episode to see, you know, what's going to happen, what's going on.
So we have Sailor Venus fixing her hair. Putting the buns back up, and
call back to that whole barbershop thing with the beauty shop.
Yeah.
Very
They're all
cute.
helping her out, and they're thinking what to do next. And Luna says, we're going to the moon. We're going to check it out. And I thought that was cute. And then they all look up, and then we know that they're all going to go to the moon, which is going to also show a huge backstory for sure. It's going to be another serious episode, I think.
Yes. I mean, all that flashbacks. And, you know, probably see the last few moments of Endymion. Did I say it right that time? Endymion's life and all the stuff that happened with that. And then we've yet to see Queen Serenity.
Yes.
But we saw a little, forgive the pun, a little teaser of her.
We did.
For at the end of the episode. So I know it's going to be a really good one.
I think so too. I think you know, as every act, as we get to every act, everything gets more just dramatic and serious, and the tone gets more just the shock value stronger, and it gets harder and harder to wait 2 weeks for the next one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it really 2 weeks?
I know.
Oh man.
Do you have anything else to say about this particular act?
I
think
I did enjoy like in comparison to the old series. Oh wow, I actually just called it the old series.
It is the old series, though.
It is now, yeah. Because you know that they would be able to teleport and do a shield around things. In fact, they did a shield around Crystal Tokyo once by channeling their powers. I liked that it was just kind of a throwaway for this episode for them to glide up to the top of Tokyo Tower, you know, in that bubble. It's like, that's great.
Yeah.
I love that it's showing that they're just casual and confident with their power so we can get on to other things.
Do you think, I mean, now that we keep talking about how Usagi has grown, do you think the other 4 girls have grown?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll go with Mars, who, you know, is my favorite.
Yeah.
Where she was such a loner, you know,
That's true.
practically an archetype, you know, in fact. And now she's become so community oriented with the rest of the girls. It's like she called them her precious friends, like in the episode. So it's like, yeah, there's a lot of growth going on there.
Yeah, that's true. And all of them were once loners, and now they're all friends. And Venus, now we know, is the leader. It's gonna be, and it's funny because she's very similar in look to Usagi.
Do you think there's going to be any kind of tension there? Because
Like the classics.
well, I mean, for her, and now she's taking over leadership of the other girls, you know? So it's like there's still Usagi, who I guess is their commander-in-chief. And then I guess Sailor V is like a general. But it's like before it used to be so diplomatic, and now there's definite leadership. So I'm wondering if something might happen with that.
I don't see it happening, but it could. You know, obviously, most people want to be the leader if they can handle it. But Usagi's got so much stuff on her mind right now. I don't think that she's worried about it. You know.
Oh, well, then maybe the other girls.
Oh, the other girls, yeah.
Possibility. I don't know. We will see.
Yeah. I can see Mars being a little like that.
Maybe.
Because Mercury's a little more low-key, more just go
I
with
could
the
see
flow.
Jupiter doing it too, where she's like, you know, maybe that wouldn't be such a great idea in some kind of.
I'm sure that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Because there's 4 of them plus Usagi, so I could see a 2 and 2 split on a decision happening. Ah,
I actually really prefer this version of Usagi more than the classic version.
I like her. I
Yeah.
like her a lot more.
Right?
Yeah, she's a little stalkery, but she's mature in the right ways.
Yes.
And pretty heartfelt, but still she's more real than just the running around crybaby that she was before.
Right? It just feels more, just the tone is a little different, a lot better. For both just our humble opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This entire thing's our opinions.
It really is. So, want to move on to predictions?
Oh, sure.
Since you've already said some.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
I predict that we're going to learn a lot on the moon, and that Endymion is going to, you know, play a very important role, obviously. But I think that the next acts are going to get better and better. That's my prediction. Really.
Well, I've done a lot of predictions thus far, but I will do one more.
Okay.
I predict that we will find out on the moon that Queen Beryl's character, her previous incarnation, was the one that was supposed to marry Endymion, and that's why she, you know, all that jealousy and rage. That's why the spirit was able to take her over, and she went after them to kill them.
You're so smart. I like your
I think
predictions.
that'd be cool.
That would be cool. All kinds of predictions. So you guys go ahead and drop your comments on iTunes as well as YouTube. Leave your predictions down there.
Please do.
Yeah. And, you know, if you want to spoil, just write spoilers so some of us won't read it.
Oh, please do
Yeah.
spoiler on it. Please do. I know everybody's read the manga already,
Oh,
but please do put spoiler on it.
Yes, just put spoiler. So that about wraps us up for this Sailor Moon Crystal after show. And we're going to come back in 2 weeks. But in the meantime, where can we find you?
Oh, you guys can find me on Twitter at Markeia McCarty. That's MarkeiaMcCarty. Yeah, let's talk Sailor Moon, but no spoilers, please. Thank you.
And you can follow me at KAORIOUS on Instagram as well as Twitter. follow the whole entire AfterBuzz team here at AfterBuzz TV, and we'll catch you guys in 2 weeks for Act 10.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.